In this exercise, we're going to review all of the resources in the Drupal stack that we just created in the previous exercise. To continue, it's required that you've done the Build Stack with CloudFormation exercise. It's also highly suggested that you've done the rest of this course. Again, Amazon is charging you every hour from this point forward. There will be costs, should only be a couple dollars, as long as you terminate the stack when you're done. If you don't have about 30 to 40 minutes to finish this exercise, you may want to terminate now and rebuild later. From the previous exercise, you should still have the following 5 tabs open. We have CloudFormation on the far left. We have the EC2 Management Console with the Load Balancer view as the next tab over. We have the EC2 Management Console with Instances as the next tab over. CloudWatch as our 4th tab, and RDS as our final. Let's go back to the EC2 Management Console for Instances, our 3rd tab from the left. And let's lock this down to only Drupal instances by typing Drupal in the filter right here. From this, you can see that our stack spun up 2 instances with EBS back volumes. If we click on each independently, we should see that one of them is in US East A, as we do here, and the other one should be in US East B, as we do here. In an auto-scaling group, as long as you have the minimum and maximum number of instances and the factor that you scale up and down set to a factor of the number of AZs, you'll always get even distribution. Let's actually go back to our ELB tab, the 2nd tab over, and let's click on Description. Here we can see that we have a DNS name for this stack. Let's go ahead and select that and open yet another tab and paste that DNS name into this tab. We should get routed to one of the instances, and here we see that we do. Here's our Drupal site up and running. Let's check the database. Let's use our username of Drupal and the password of Drupal, which are stored in the database, to log in. If you're able to log in, you've just verified that you have RDS connectivity. Let's go to our 3rd tab, our EC2 Instances tab, and first find the instance that's launched in US East 1A. Let's copy out the DNS name for this instance, open another tab, and paste that DNS in there. Here you can see that in my case, this was the 2nd instance that spun up. One of your instances is going to have this warning. The other one will not. Again, this is a problem with the CloudFormation template itself. It's probably easy to debug, but for our purposes, we're going to leave it here, as it helps us differentiate our 2 instances. If we go back to the EC2 tab again, our 3rd tab, and we choose the other instance, let's do the same thing. Copy its DNS, open another tab, and paste its DNS in again. Here we can see that in my case, this instance is the one that got created first. So this is the one that doesn't have the error. So our last 3 tabs in our browser should be the ELB, which is directing us to one of the 2 backend instances, the instance in A zone, and then the instance in B zone. Let's look at our RDS for a second. Here we see that we have a single RDS created with 5 gigs of storage. Let's go ahead and click on that and open up the detailed view. We can see that we have a multi-AZ setup, and our primary zone is 1A, our secondary zone is 1B. If we were to lose the database in 1A, it would seamlessly fail over to 1B, which is generally a good thing. From this tab, let's go ahead and choose Services, right-click on S3, and open up yet another tab, so we can browse our S3 resources that were created. Let's click on that tab and look at the resources that have been created on our behalf. We should have at least a couple buckets with some new content in there. I've done this exercise many times, so I have probably way more buckets than you, but you should at least see Drupal stack in there once. Let's go ahead and click on that Drupal stack, and we should see 2 assets inside of there, a host file that's 34 bytes and a style that is 0. The last thing we need to verify is our IAM resources that were created. Let's go ahead and click on Services and choose IAM directly, not right-clicking it. From here, let's choose Users. And again, this is why it's useful using names and tags. We can see that the Drupal stack created an S3 user for us. Let's click on that. Let's open up the detailed view and click on their permissions. We can see that they have root permissions, but for what exactly? Let's push Show. Here we can see that they have the ability to do everything inside of S3, which is probably okay. It looks to me like all of our resources have been created properly. Let's go ahead and close this IAM tab and leave everything else as it is. You're almost done with this chapter. We have one single exercise left, simulating load on the application. where we're actually going to send load to the application and watch it scale up and down. Again, this chapter is best consumed in one setting. From this point forward, it should only take about 30 minutes or so to wrap up everything. Again, please be careful of your bill. If you leave your entire stack up, it's going to charge on an hourly basis. And if you leave it up for an entire month, you're going to get a bill from Amazon of roughly about $230.